Collins, and I used to work for Massachusetts Citizens for Life as their director of outreach. It really opened my eyes to the political nature of what was going on in Massachusetts. It was a very exciting time to work for the organization. We saw some pretty scary bills, but pretty exciting times for pro-lifers. We were very successful in certain instances. But moving down here to DC is a different world. We're working at the national level now, and it's an exciting time to be down here. It's a very exciting time to be a pro-life activist, especially now in 2017. Who would have thought that we would be where we are even 3 months ago? I know 2 years ago, even 6 months ago, I never imagined that we would be in this position that we're in right now. It's truly remarkable, and it's really because of the efforts that you have been doing over the number of years, but over the last couple months especially. So Republicans, Massachusetts Life is not a political organization. They are a political organization. They're not party affiliated. In Massachusetts, it's a different world. You do have pro-life Democrats, you do have pro-life Republicans. At the national level, it's not really the case. We do have, the Republican Party is predominantly the pro-life party, The Democrats have taken a pro-abortion position. So now we know that the Republicans control the House of Representatives. The pro-life Republicans control the Senate. We will have a pro-life executive branch, and soon we will have a pro-life majority on the Supreme Court. So I wanted to talk a bit about how we got to where we are right now. Obviously, we have a new president, President Donald Trump. Again, many people did not expect him to win this election. To be honest, he may have been the only one who thought he was going to win. But it's the actions that have taken place over the past couple of years really got us to where we are. So Donald Trump had a message that really resonated with the American people. He told them that the Washington elite need to get out of the way. They need to stop telling the public what's good for them, and the media needs to stop telling the public what to believe. So that's the message that really resonated with the American people, and truly I think that's why he's in the office that he's in right now. So we have this amazing opportunity in front of us. An opportunity that we haven't seen for decades and truly for generations to actually see pro-life action, not only here in DC, but across the country. So we have, as I said, we have a pro-life majority in the House and a pro-life majority in the Senate. President Donald Trump said that his executive branch will be pro-life. We're good. So we will have, his executive branch will be pro-life, and we've seen that in his nominations for high cabinet positions. Betsy DeVos in education is a known pro-life advocate. We have Representative Tom Price, who will head the Health and Human Services, he will be the Health and Human Services Secretary, which will be instrumental in repealing and replacing Obamacare. We have Governor Nikki Haley, who was just appointed to as the UN Secretary. The UN is vitally important. Over the past couple of decades, the UN has been trying to force the pro-life countries to recognize abortion as a human right. Nikki Haley will be a pro-life voice and strong pro-life voice at the UN. And of course, Senator Jeff Sessions was nominated to be the Attorney General, and he will be a very strong advocate to uphold the country accountable and make sure that the pro-life laws that we have on the books will be practiced, and that eventually, when we pass more of these laws, that they will be implemented. So President Trump will be naming his Supreme Court nomination next Thursday. So make sure you have your apps set for that so you get that notification. He has told us that his nominee will be pro-life. So as I said, this will get us to where we were originally. So Justice Scalia, as we all know, is a lion on the Supreme Court, a pro-life lion, champion for us. So with that, with a pro-life nomination, we will be back to 4 liberals on the Supreme Court. We will have 4 conservative justices, assuming that Justice Roberts doesn't go rogue like he did in the Obamacare vote, and Justice Kennedy, who is the notorious swing vote. But it's also worth pointing out that 2 of these justices are in their 80s, and that ripe age of retirement is right around the corner. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is 83. Anthony Kennedy, again, who's the swing vote, is 80 years old. Stephen Breyer is also 78. So if 1 or 3 of these justices retire, President Donald Trump has the ability to nominate up to 4 pro-life Supreme Court justices. So it's important, though, that we as citizens do our part. So before his passing, Justice Scalia told a group of conservatives and pro-life advocates that we were putting too much trust in court. He said that we were passing pro-life laws that would be challenged by pro-abortion groups at the Supreme Court, and they would not stand. He said that they were putting too much pressure on the courts that when these laws were being passed, we were not foreseeing it going to the court and then being overturned. So in Texas, we had the HB2 law, which is a very common sense law. It was trying to require that abortion medical facilities would be held to the same standards as other medical facilities in the state, God forbid. And the Supreme Court overturned parts of that law. But sometimes the court doesn't get it right. So in Massachusetts, we had the notorious buffer zone law, which was overturned unanimously because it grossly violated the First Amendment rights of our pro-life activists. So the court did get that one right. But Justice Scalia did have a point, so the courts should be our last resort. To protect our vulnerable brothers and sisters, we need to make sure that we're voting for pro-life legislators. Never let a candidate who's pro-abortion run unopposed. It's probably the worst thing that we can ever do. So it's important that we as pro-life activists support your local pro-life groups as well. So Massachusetts Citizens for Life is obviously, they're putting on this amazing event here. So we need to support organizations like Mass Citizens for Life, both financially and with your time. If you don't have the money to support them, then your time is just as valuable. It's important that we get involved in grassroots campaigns to elect pro-life legislators up and down the ticket, and to fight pro-abortion and pro-suicide laws that are trying to be passed in the state. So the momentum is on our side, and we know this. There's no more excuses for legislators anymore. So first, the Republicans told us that they needed the House in order to pass any pro-life laws. And in 2012, we gave them the House. Then they came back and said that wasn't enough. They needed the Senate. So 2 years later, in 2014, we gave them the Senate. Then they told us after Justice Scalia's passing that they couldn't pass laws because they would not be, they wouldn't stand in the Supreme Court, so they needed a pro-life majority of the Supreme Court. So organizations like Heritage Action for America, this is an organization that I work for, started a campaign called No Hearings, No Votes. And essentially this campaign, what it said was that they were not going to, they were holding pro-life Republicans accountable and saying, you will not hold any hearings for a Supreme Court nominee until the election is over. Let the people decide who the next president will be, and then we will have nomination hearings. And that campaign was very important because we did studies to actually see what the #1 issue was during this election, and the Supreme Court was either the first or the second in every single study that we did. Now imagine if the pro-life Republicans had caved, if they had hearings on Merrick Garland, who the media tried to portray as a moderate liberal. He was not, he was liberal, very liberal. Imagine if the Republicans had caved and they had nominations and they appointed him. Where would we be right now? Would the public, the people of this country be motivated to get out and vote? It's a very important question, and it shows that actions have consequences, or inactions have consequences. we would probably have someone else sitting in the White House right now. So we need to be active constantly to make sure that we are doing everything that we can. So, as I said, the pro-life Republicans were saying that they needed a pro-life majority on the Supreme Court, or they needed the Supreme Court. So we stopped the nomination hearings from taking place, and then they told us, well, we need the White House. And on November 8th, the public gave them the White House. So, we have given the pro-life legislators everything that they need. And it's very important because no more excuses are going to be tolerated. So, nothing but action is going to be accepted. And we are seeing action. As I said, it's a very exciting time for me to be down here in DC, but even from Massachusetts, it's an exciting time to be a pro-life activist. So his first week in office, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to officially start the rollback of Obamacare. And he also signed an executive order to reinstate the Mexico City policy. So the Mexico City policy, as we all know, is a policy that was implemented to prevent taxpayer dollars going to fund abortion promotion overseas. So the Guttmacher Institute actually estimated that this will be a $600 million blow to the pro-abortion. So, and thankfully, the House Republicans are taking action as well. On Tuesday, they passed H.R. 7, which would permanently end federal funding of abortion. And President Donald Trump said that he will pass the legislation when it's passed in the Senate. Now, the Senate. Oh, the Senate. The Senate is where a lot of our common sense legislation goes to die. So, we as pro-life activists need to make sure that our senators especially hear our voices, but especially the pro-life senators. So Speaker Ryan, he had said that we will actually see the defunding of Planned Parenthood in the budget resolution. We will also see, we are expecting to see a repeal and replace of Obamacare, at least the repeal part. We are expecting that to take place before President's Day of next month. And now Obamacare, it's been an 8-year battle. It's a very important battle, especially for pro-lifers. It's not marketed as a pro-life or pro-abortion piece of legislation, but it truly is. Regarding Obamacare, it's another area where Republicans can take immediate action. So for the last 8 years, we've been involved in this battle, and we expect the president to take action over the next few days. But over the next few months, you're going to hear the media trying to portray the repeal of Obamacare as the Republicans' assault on the sick, the poor, which are all blatant falsehoods. They will tell us that 20 million people will lose their health care, including those with pre-existing conditions and those who cannot afford private care. These are false claims, obviously. But we will see this constantly in the media, and it's our job to set the narrative straight. Present the facts. So in 2015, the Republicans passed a bill that would actually repeal Obamacare, that did repeal Obamacare, but it was probably vetoed by President Obama. And in this 2015 this 2015 bill, essentially what it said was that it would give 2 years for the repeal process to take place, so that those who are on the Obamacare exchanges can actually have time to purchase health care in the private sector, which we expect will be cheaper and will be higher quality. And another point, to the 20 million people insured, it's very important for us to set that fact straight. The majority of those people who are now receiving health care because of Obamacare were actually signed up through Medicaid. And because of that, that's a government program, so those individuals will lose their health care. So at the very least, Republicans can continue to this repeal approach while keeping the important parts in the bill that they hold to, that they believe are important, like the family plans that would allow those who are 26 years of age or younger to stay in their parents' plan, or the pre-existing condition, which anyone who has a pre-existing condition cannot be denied health insurance. So the important thing with Obamacare, though, is that we do not let the Republicans delay this repeal. It's very important. So right now, some Republicans are nervous about the repeal, saying that we need to replace it first. This is unacceptable because it actually holds the repeal process hostage and will guarantee its defeat. The longer the Republicans wait, the more time it will give the pro-abortion Democrats to mobilize. It will give the media more time to spread more falsehoods. So it's very important that Republicans repeal this law. And with this 2-year process in mind, this will give the Republicans time to actually have open debates where the public can be involved to pass health care law, not behind closed doors anymore, not on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve morning, when they're hoping that the public isn't paying attention. This will give the Republicans the chance to actually implement common sense health care. So whenever Republicans ran against Obamacare, they won their elections. But in 2018, and this is where I get excited, in 2018, there will be 33 senators up for re-election. So a very big year in 2018. 8 of those seats will be pro-life Republicans. 23 of them will be pro-abortion Democrats. 10 of those seats will be very competitive races. Only one of those individuals in the polling that one of those 10 seats is a pro-life Republican. The other 9 are pro-abortion Democrats. So these are opportunities for us to really succeed. So now the fight ahead of us is going to be a tough one, and it certainly is going to be tough. So we saw that after the November 8th election, a resurgence in the pro-abortion movement, truly, that we have not seen in a number of years. So Planned Parenthood and NARAL were major sponsors of the Women's March, which took place last Saturday, drawing millions of Americans from across the country. Now, the Women's March was originally intended to be a women's march. Women of all different beliefs were encouraged to attend. However, a few weeks before the march actually took place, the organizers prevented a pro-life, or they removed a pro-life group, Feminists for Life, or excuse me, New Wave Feminists. They removed them from their sponsored website. And as a result, the media took that upon themselves to say that pro-life women were not welcome to this march. However, in true pro-life fashion, pro-life women did show up to the march, and they did have a high showing of representation at the march. Spreading the pro-life message. The Students for Life of America actually got to the front of the march with a giant banner saying that abortion betrays women. So our mission over the next 4 years is going to be an uphill battle. We have awoken the pro-abortion behemoth. And they're going to do everything in their power to ensure that everything that we have worked for over the 44 plus years is stopped dead in its tracks. We need to stop that from happening, because this is our time. So let us remember this year, for future generations. Let them look back at the pro-life movement and say, this is where it all started. So this is the year where the pro-life movement saw victory after victory to restore a culture of life where society began to protect the most vulnerable among us. And so I leave with this message. Be optimistic, but be vigilant. Our work has just begun. Now more than ever, we must devote ourselves to the pro-life mission, to support organizations like Massachusetts Citizens for Life, both financially and with your time, because both are important. And we must ensure that we promote a culture of life at the state level as well as the national level. Because when Roe v. Wade is overturned, and it will be overturned, the battle is going to go back to the states. So it's important that we have the state itself, Massachusetts especially, has the stronghold there to host that battle. So I encourage everyone here, regardless of age or gender, run for every imaginable form of government position or any political office that you can. It's vitally important that we have pro-life individuals in every form of public service. But also work with those who don't necessarily agree with you on other policy issues. If they stand with us on the pro-life issue, work with them. Now is not the time to become comfortable. If you're comfortable, then you're not doing enough. And I say that to myself as well. The pro-abortion lobby is unifying every imaginable ally they can to defeat our mission. So we need to be ready. And the best thing that we can do today and right now is to go to both Senator Warren's office and Senator Markey's office, as well as your representatives across the street, and tell them why you're here today. Okay. Last week, they had hundreds of thousands of people here, and Senator Markey and Senator Warren were in Boston, both wearing Planned Parenthood scarves. And the media, as we all know, does not like to cover the March for Life. We might see a change today thanks to a call out or a shout out from President Trump on the news the other day. And Vice President Pence will also be at the march today, so we do expect support. But make sure that you're lobbying your legislators. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to tell them why you're in DC today. So now is our time. So let's go out there and let's let our voices be heard, and let's be the voice for the voiceless.